All right, let's jump right into this explainer and explore some absolutely fascinating scientific anomalies and observations that suggest extraterrestrial life might actually exist. We're going to unpack some incredibly compelling source material today that takes us from the darkest depths of our own oceans to the absolute farthest reaches of the cosmos. If you've ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if anyone or anything is looking back, well, you are definitely in the right place. Because let's be real, ever since the Big Bang, the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the expanding cosmos has forced humanity to ask this one profound question: are we really alone? For centuries, this was purely a philosophical debate, you know? But today, thanks to massive advances in astronomy, astrobiology, and yes, even declassified government documents, we're starting to piece together a puzzle that relies on hard data rather than just science fiction. As we unpack the evidence from today's sources, the idea that Earth is the only rock out there harboring life is beginning to look scientifically and statistically highly improbable.
So here is our agenda for today. We'll be covering 1. The vast, expanding universe. 2. Unexplained earthly phenomena. 3. The Antarctica meteorite. 4. Secrets of the moon Europa. 5. The Venus gas mystery. And 6. The Drake equation.
Section 1. The vast expanding universe. Let's start with the foundation of probability by looking at the sheer scale of our cosmic canvas. When we consider the endless expansion of the universe since the Big Bang, the mathematical probability alone suggests that Earth just might not be the only host to life. Think about it for a second. Our galaxy alone contains hundreds of billions of stars, and there are potentially trillions of galaxies out there. The source material emphasizes that this continuous, infinite expansion creates a completely unfathomable number of planetary systems. To assume that the specific chemical reactions that sparked life only happened exactly once on our one specific planet in the middle of this infinite expanse, that is a massive cosmic leap of faith, and frankly, it'd be a massive waste of space. The sheer volume of cosmic real estate practically demands that we keep an open mind here.
Section 2. Unexplained earthly phenomena.
Now, bringing the mystery right back down to our own atmosphere, the U.S. government and the Pentagon have actually declassified reports of unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, observed directly by highly trained Navy pilots. What we're impartially documenting here are objects that completely defy our current understanding of aerodynamics. The sources point out some crazy specific details. These crafts lack visible wings, they have no engines, no exhaust plumes, yet they can reach astonishing speeds of up to 8,000 kilometers per hour. And perhaps most incredibly, they execute these sudden, completely physics-defying stops that would literally instantly crush a human pilot. Now, the source material doesn't explicitly say, hey, this is aliens, but it clearly points out that these are documented physical objects operating with technology far, far beyond current human capabilities.
And adding to those terrestrial anomalies, scientists utilizing massive radio telescopes, like the famous one in Puerto Rico, have intercepted totally unexplained radio frequencies and signals echoing from deep space. You see, our planet is constantly listening to the cosmos, and every so often, we catch a signal that just doesn't fit the natural pattern of a random cosmic event, like a pulsar or a dying star. These deep space radio waves are this incredibly tantalizing hint that out there in the void, there might be directed energy, an intentional transmission, rather than just random background noise.
Section 3. The Antarctica meteorite.
We're going from the skies straight down to the ice now. Picture this: a space rock survives a brutal journey through the harshness of the cosmos, makes it through our atmospheric entry and crash lands, preserved perfectly in the sterile, frozen ice of Antarctica. When scientists finally cracked this specific meteorite open and looked under a microscope, they didn't just find standard space rock, they found literal structural anomalies. These microscopic shapes bear a really striking resemblance to fossilized bacteria found right here on Earth. Now, while the scientific community actively debates whether these are true biological fossils or just really unusual mineral formations, the source material highlights this as a profound moment. I mean, the building blocks of life, or perhaps life itself, were found literally falling from the sky.
Section 4. Secrets of the moon Europa. Moving a bit further out into our own solar system, Jupiter's icy companion Europa presents a fascinating contrast. While its surface is this barren, desolate, frozen wasteland made of a thick crust of solid ice, scientists believe a massive liquid water ocean exists right underneath it. How is that possible? Well, Jupiter's immense gravity physically squeezes and stretches the moon, creating internal friction and heat. That heat melts the ice from the inside out, creating a prime, warm, liquid environment where extraterrestrial biosignatures might be thriving completely in the dark. Think about it. On Earth, we've found entire complex ecosystems living at the absolute bottom of our oceans around hydrothermal vents, in complete darkness, surviving entirely on chemical energy. Europa's subsurface ocean provides those exact same conditions. It is currently one of the single most promising targets in our solar system for finding living, breathing organisms.
Section 5. The Venus Gas Mystery. Now, we shouldn't just be looking for perfectly Earth-like conditions, as the toxic planet right next door to us recently proved. Scientists were absolutely shocked to discover traces of hydrogen sulfide and phosphine gases swirling around within the atmosphere of Venus. Why is this so shocking? Well, because Venus is practically a literal hellscape. The surface temperatures can melt lead and the atmospheric pressure is bone-crushing. Yet, high up in the clouds, where the temperature and pressure are actually somewhat more stable, our instruments detected these very specific chemical markers.
Despite the harsh, highly toxic and acidic environment of those Venusian clouds, these specific gases, phosphine and hydrogen sulfide, present a major, tantalizing micromystery. Why? Because on Earth, they are typically produced by living bacterial organisms. Specifically, they're made by anaerobic bacteria, which are life forms that don't even need oxygen to survive. In the world of chemistry, phosphine is incredibly difficult to make naturally without life being involved, mostly because it degrades so quickly. So for it to be present in the clouds of Venus, something has to be actively producing it right now. Could there be floating colonies of alien microbes surviving in the acidic clouds of our sister planet? The source material presents this as one of the absolutely most exciting recent developments in astrobiology.
Section 6. The Drake Equation.
Finally, let's step back from all these physical clues for a second and examine the pure mathematical inevitability of alien civilizations. Back in 1961, scientist Frank Drake formulated this exact mathematical equation, proving that when you factor in the number of stars, planets, and the timeline of the universe, the probability of active alien civilizations is mathematically significant. It's basically the ultimate cosmic real estate formula. The equation takes the rate of star formation, the fraction of those stars with planetary systems, the number of planets that could potentially support life, the fraction where life actually develops, the fraction where intelligent life emerges, and finally, the fraction that developed communicative technology. Even if you plug extremely conservative, totally pessimistic numbers into this equation, the sheer size of the Milky Way galaxy alone dictates that there should be other communicative civilizations out there. The math practically demands it.
So as we look up at the night sky, armed with declassified files of impossible aircraft, ancient meteorites carrying strange microscopic structures, planetary oceans hidden beneath thick ice, chemical signatures in toxic alien clouds, and cold, hard mathematical equations, you really have to ask yourself, if the cosmos is mathematically and chemically teeming with life, when will we finally meet our neighbors? Will it be a tiny microbe on Europa, or a massive, booming signal from a distant star system? The source material clearly shows us that the breadcrumbs are everywhere. It's really no longer a question of if they are out there, but when our paths will finally cross. So keep your eyes on the skies and keep asking questions.